So for this video, I'm going to continue to cover the lists that I've been playing lately in MtG Arena. Again, I've been playing best of one because my collection isn't quite big enough for me to play the decks I want to play. That means I also can't really support quality sideboards if my main decks aren't even finished yet. I'm hoping to dive into some more traditional gameplay next month, but for now, just wanted to share what I have been playing. And this is my updated version of Grixis Control that I've been playing, and again, it's geared for best of one, so there's some weird inclusions, and also, again, I don't have a fully complete collection by any means, and so some of these choices are out of necessity. So I'm running a couple of Spell Pierces. These have been really nice because of the number of Planeswalkers running around, and they're also really great at countering opposing Thought Erasures early on. So if you're on the draw, they go first, they play a land. If you are able to play a blue land, and then they go and try to Thought Erasure you, you can sometimes stop it. So it's nice. It's, you know, not something that I want all the time, but as I'm going for budget options, it's been great. 2 searches, Moment of Craving. This is, again, because I've been playing best of one. You run into a fair amount of mono red and or white weenie. This is great in that matchup. You get some health, you get the removal, it's good. 1 Elder Spell. This is because I only own 2 Bedevils, and I really want to run more, but I can't. So this is the Planeswalker Cider removal, and if I'm being honest, in some matchups, this has just outright won me the game. On stream the other day, I won a game solely because the opponent and I both had a number of Planeswalkers on the board, and I just nuked them all with Elder Spell, and then used the Nicol Bolas Ultimate to just win the game outright. So as a one-of, it's actually been pretty good so far. This here is for some cycle, sometimes removal, and again, just filling one of those budget options because I don't have, you know, multiple copies of Bedevil, for example. So Discovery Dispersal's there. Thought Erasure, I hate playing against it. I love to play it, always including it. A couple of Narsets because it's quality draw, and it can shut down an opposing deck or 2. Bedevil because I only own 2. Ritual of Soot is my board clear. Again, I only own 2, so we're running 2 right now, but this is great against White Weenie and Mono Red often. 3 Contempts, because Planeswalker removal, creature removal gains life, and trying to shore up some of the other options that I don't own multiples of. And then we're playing Grixis, so 4 Nicol Bolas, 1 Eldest Reborn, 1 Liliana, and 1 Yugen as some flavor inclusions, and you guessed it, I only own 1 of each anyway, so we're throwing 1 of each in as well. Ideally, I would maybe like to fit in 1 more Yugen somewhere, probably in place of either one of the other 2, I don't know. But that's essentially the list. I do have some lands, but I don't own like full copies of some of these things, right? Like I only own 2 Blood Crypts, I only own 2 Dragon Skulls, so I'm making do with what I got in terms of the land. I wouldn't pay too much attention to my counts. I don't think they're necessarily correct. We're just playing them out of necessity, but this is my best of one Grixis Control as of right now. So like I always do, we're gonna go play a couple of games so I can show the deck off. So this is gonna be our first game on the Grixis Control list, and it's not terrible. So we do have 3 lands, which is solid. Search is a really good opener here. And Steam Vents means Dragon Skull will come into play untapped. We have the Bedevil, which is nice. The problem is that we don't have Craving or any of the other like early game removal options. Basically, Bedevil is the soonest that we can respond to something that hits the board. So if it's an aggressive opponent, we might have been at a disadvantage. However, picking up that Ritual of Soot helps, and seeing the Steam Vents means it's not likely to be, you know, mono red or something in that vein. So now we're more worried about, I was gonna say Planeswalker Control, and or the Arclight Phoenix combo deck, but this means it's probably Planeswalker Control of some kind. We would like the land, I think, in this situation. Not likely gonna do anything with it. This is not something I have seen much in the Planeswalker Control deck, but I can understand the inclusion. Scry seems pretty good. 1/3 bodies, pretty solid against other aggressive decks. And you can get in there for chip damage. There's the beacon. There is a Dovin. That's going to be annoying because it means that we will not be able to play this Bedevil at the end of the turn the way that we want. Because it's going to increase the cost.
Your impending failure.
Is that what I want to play this next turn? Or do I want to play the Bedevil? That is a tough question. On the one hand, Dovin is annoying, but on the other hand, it's just fodder for Elder Spell after we maybe resolve Nicol Bolas. So I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, let's draw that, and that'll just be our play for the turn. So we'll go ahead and take our Surveil. And I think I'm fine with both of those for now. Because again, we just want to draw lands and get to Bolas and hopefully resolve it. Alright.
Right on schedule.
That's a wee bit annoying.
I have a plan.
That's a wee bit annoying for a number of reasons. Alright, we're going to take the risk here. We're going to play Nicol Bolas. The reason I say take the risk is because we're going to draw a card, make them do the old exile shenanigans. But it's a risk because if Bolas sticks and they don't attack Bolas, and I know those are some big ifs, mind you, but if that is the case... Alright, well... Sarkhan is likely going to attack into our Bolas, ruin our fun, yeah. So if that was not what was about to happen, Elder Spell would have just outright won the game. Like 100%. Just wins us the game there. Instead, however, what we're going to do now is play this Bedevil on Sarkhan, hope they don't have another one in hand.
The dragon does not lose.
And we'll redevelop the search. Yasmina.
War is coming. I will not hone your control.
Don't worry, I got this.
Again, being a bit of a thorn in our side. I don't think we want to draw Swamp here. That doesn't seem like something that we want. So again, we're going to go for it. Hope that they don't have a response. Liliana's a good backup plan. Potentially. So we really don't want them to find a Sarkhan, because then we just lose. And we also really don't want them to kill our Nicol Bolas.
Here we go.
So now the question is, no, there they go.
Playing hero.
So we're at 2, and we can go, well, we're at 2, but we can potentially go up to 8, right? Because Elder Spell here is +2 for each one, and when we're up to 8, it'll be each opponent who doesn't control a legendary creature or Planeswalker loses the game. Now, these are not legends, and we are hoping to nuke these. So we're going to go ahead and use our Elder Spell now. And we're going to say, all of you.
An anomaly not to be repeated.
And then we're going to go ahead and use this. And just win the game. As I said during during the first portion that I was kind of going over, sometimes that one of Elder Spell just wins you the game in certain matchups, and I'm glad I got to capture it. I've done it before on stream, but there's your proof. One of Elder Spell in the best of one, certainly worth it. You might even say, hey, it might be worth running multiples because there's a lot of Planeswalkers in the format, but for now, I only own the one. And sometimes it's a dead draw, but good stuff. Let's jump into another game just so that we can, again, get a feel for this list. Game 2 on our Grixis Control, getting ready to begin, and it's not an ideal opener, especially with so many basic lands, but we do have all of our colors covered. We have 4 lands, so we can get to Nicol Bolas, and we do at least have this, so we have a turn 2 play. If we're against aggro, though, this is not good. I think we still keep it, though. I don't think our hand gets better if we throw this back, is the problem. Not in a meaningful way. We'd prefer to have, like, you know, maybe a Moment of Craving or something in case it's against aggro. Thankfully, our opponent mulliganed. Their hand is... Alright, well, their hand was bad. Normally I do 2 games with these, but this one was so fast we're going to go ahead and play a third so that you're not cheated out of content there. So game 3 in what was supposed to be a video featuring only 2 games, but our opponent conceded. Alright, so this is a better opening hand than the last one. We have all of our colors covered. We have a Nicol Bolas, and we have an early response if it is against aggro in Moment of Craving, and we have a fantastic late game card as well. We are in the draw though, so we have that kind of working against us, but outside of that, it's looking pretty good. Mountain could mean mono red, but also could mean a number of decks. Leading off with a mountain actually is one of those things that doesn't tell you a whole lot anymore. I was gonna say it could be Gruul, and there it is. All right, so interesting. It's going to be Gruul running Sarkhan and Branchwalker here, huh? So we're going to go ahead. I really want to hit that one Moment of Craving, but I think Thought Erasure is just a better play once we've top-decked that. Lightning Strikes. Domri kind of slows him down the most. Don't have a lot of answers ourselves to this Arc Bow, though. Yeah, we'll keep that. We still have 2 lands in hand. So we got a couple of turns to find a 5th by the time that rolls around. And our next turn is basically already decided. We're going to end up Moment of Craving on this to slow them down. They might run pump cards. So we'll do it now. There's an argument to be made about maybe not doing that like right this second and waiting. But we'll do it now. And a couple of different ways we could tackle this, but we'll not shock this in until we absolutely have to, I suppose. Good news is they did not find another land or a threat, so this Nicol Bolas, not only is it going to come down and make them discard a card, but they don't have a good way to get rid of it unless they find another land, because they would need to basically double Lightning Strike it, so they might try Arc Bow and discarding a card, yeah, to go find a 3-drop, find themselves a Spellbreaker. I'm relatively tempted to block that. Just because it means it's one less thing for us to potentially have to worry about killing our Nicol Bolas. Because as long as we can stick these 2, we kind of win. Like, this isn't really a necessity. So, if they have a combat trick, they can use it. Otherwise, just go ahead and let that go. Again, we're going to try to protect this as best we can. Alright, so sadly we do have to shock this in, but I think it's worth it. We want to take the +1 because we want to make him have to work hard to deal the 5. Oh, that's a really good pickup. So if we don't find another land for Liliana, this can serve as disruption removal, and we'll get this back if this ends up dying. And or, you know, we could steal their Sarkin, for example. Get our own Nicol Bolas back because it is a creature or planeswalker. This is a really good pickup. We might even play this even if we do find a land, because we do have this Spell Pierce here, though the Arcbow means... Alright, well, instead, I'm just going to go ahead and draw another card. And we're going to Contempt this Phoenix so that we don't have to worry about it. And that might actually just result in a concede on their part, if I'm being honest. That is a brutal situation for them to be in, and there is the concede, so expertly navigated. I say like I did anything super special. Really, it was thought erasure, kill their stuff, play Nicol Bolas. That's what Grixis Control really wants to do anyway, but there you have it anyway. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. I've got to get better at saying, like, please like and subscribe. I feel dirty saying it, but if you're watching this and you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. I hope to catch you in the next video. Thank you again.